49ers have lost 2 in a row, weeks 6 and 7. Last time they lost 2 in a row were weeks 6 and 7 of last year. Week 7 was when Christian McCaffrey had arrived on a Friday and still suited up and played against the Kansas City Chiefs, who beat the 49ers like a drum, and then the Niners didn't lose again until the NFC Championship game. So last time they lost 2 in a row, it kind of didn't. It was a speed bump. And last night, no Debo, no Trent Williams. The problem is, and this is coming from a guy who after 5-6 weeks said Brock Purdy should be considered an MVP candidate. And last week, let's not forget, he did get his team in position to win the game in Cleveland, Ohio. And instead of getting his rookie kicker closer than 41 yards, Shanahan decided to just send him out there. And his rookie kicker and Jake Moody missed. Moody. Game over. And then Moody missed last night. That's one mistake. Christian McCaffrey took that first takeaway from the Niners defense and fumbled in the red zone for the first pointsless opening drive of the San Francisco season. They had scored points on every single one of their opening drives. It was the first time an opening drive came up with no points. And, you know, the Niners have shown they've got to play, you know, mistake-free football. They're one of those teams that, you know, they can overcome their mistakes, just like their front office. You know, they could overcome anything. And last night bit him in the rear because Brock Purdy had a chance. And this time he threw the interception. 2 of them in a row to end that game. And this is one of those things, rightfully so, that will be said about him and the Niners. Folks need to see him when he's not playing from ahead, just wrapping up a game and being smart about it. They need to see him come up with one of those game-winning drives. And last week he did, and his kicker missed. We need to be fair about this stuff. And if we are going to talk about, you know, hey, the Chiefs lost on the road. I mean, lost at home the night that they raised their banner because they didn't have 2 of their best players, Trent Williams and Debo Samuel. You know, I mean, if you had to take away their 2 best players, similar to what Kansas City had not named their quarterback, and obviously you could make a case that they have better players than their quarterbacks in San Francisco. What, McCaffrey and Fred Warner would be the 2 that you wouldn't want to lose if you were them? Close to it would be Trent Williams on that list, and obviously Debo. So I don't mean to make excuses because the coach didn't after the game. This is what I knew I'd say that Kyle Shanahan had to say after the loss, second consecutive loss.
Not much you can do about it. I mean, we flat out got beat, and I think right now you got to take it like a man, and we got a game here, and I think tomorrow we wake up, it'll be 5 days from now. We got a team coming off a bye week who's been waiting for this for a little bit, and we can't sit here and worry about what's happened before this. We got to make sure that we do everything from now all the way till Sunday when that game's over to find a way to beat the Bengals. And then we go into our bye week, and I just looked at our guys right now as we got about 5.5 days left. Got to focus all on that and make sure we go in that bye week 6-2, not 5-3.
Bengals coming off a bye.
Oh, baby.
They have yet to play the Seahawks, who probably smell a little bit of blood here. That happens for the first time on Thanksgiving night in Seattle, and then 2 weeks later, home against Seattle with a trip to Philadelphia in between. Something that, as you know, Debo has been circling, and the same thing with the Eagles, too. There's a game against the Ravens later on in December on Christmas. At Jacksonville is their game coming out of the bye. One would say a very untimely time to lose 2 in a row. Good thing for them they won 5 in a row to start the season. I still believe in Purdy. Still the right guy. You're just learning with him. He's not coming. I mean, he's not coming out of the box perfect all the time. The issue is, again, is if you're making other mistakes, then you're letting your first year if you will, full-time starter, those mistakes he might make can come home to roost, and they did last night. And credit the Vikings for making it happen. The thing about what's going on there in terms of the larger issue is they might potentially start losing hailing distance or losing the proximity of the Eagles. They need to be at least one worse than the Eagles when they face them and beat them, and then they'll just have that tie break, and then everything would come through the field of genes unless the Lions keep winning. That's the way you just got to look at it right now. I'm not concerned about the 49ers not being good or Purdy suddenly turning into a pumpkin. That's not the way I'm viewing last night's loss. Just mistakes happen. These things happen. You're not a perfect team. Just 2 in a row. I am a little nervous for them about the Bengals coming in. I don't think we were talking about Joe's calf coming out of a bye, right? That team started to turn things. What a game in Week 8, man. What a game for Week 8.
Sports Talk Radio question.
Yes, sir.
Real quick.
Go.
Did you learn more about the 49ers or Vikings last night?
Vikings. How about that? I'll say Vikings. I think the defense is beginning to bow up a little bit.
A little bit.
Right? I mean, Brian Flores coming in and coordinating. I think, as always, things take time. He's the first-time DC there. I think it's beginning to stiffen. You're seeing that. And you're seeing the results. You're seeing the fruits of their labor. And if Cousins can throw the ball like that and be elusive, how about that throw to Addison towards the end of the game? I mean, they set themselves up for a field goal to go up 8.
Right.
And Joseph missed it and gave Purdy only 60 yards to go as opposed to, say, 80 or 75 or what have you. And that caused me to think, okay, here comes the trap door on the Vikings. But then they picked off Purdy. But how about that throw? I thought he was dead to rights. I thought he was sacked. And Cousins got free and found Addison, who got fouled anyway, but made the catch.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's kind of emblematic of the night right there where Cousins was in trouble. And we all thought that was just because he was playing on a Monday night, right? And then Cousins shows up, overcomes an early mistake, and balls out. And was tough to get off the field. He was tough to put down on the ground and tough to get off the field, and there was no Justin Jefferson. So I learned more about the Vikings last night. Catch the Rich Eisen Show every single day on the Roku channel, 12 to 3 Eastern, for free.